YouTube, Facebook, you are first. Here we go.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
Bam! We are back again for number 10. Cave Crew Radio, Season 10. Let's go. CaveCrewRadio.com.
Hey, we joke a lot about endless summer, but started last week, was good. This week, surprise live guest. Next week, big announcement. Wait till the show. All things are in full gear. I am at the point of end of month exhaustion, inventory, this, that, the other thing. But here in Canada, it is a long weekend. Canada Day is tomorrow, which means I get Monday off. I'm very excited.
See, we don't. July 4th is on a Tuesday, so we don't actually have a long weekend. So we have obviously Saturday, Sunday. Monday is work. Tuesday you're off. Wednesday is work.
I hate when that happens. Yeah. I hate it.
So most people will be doing their 4th of July festivities this weekend.
Are you, how can we say this, taking a mulligan on Monday?
Well, no, I can't.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, because it's still retail. All the stores are open, so I have to.
Well, you don't have sick days or vacation days?
I do, but I save them for the end of the year.
I see what you're doing. Okay. For Christmas. You still have young kids.
Yes.
Special guest is in the room.
I hear
he will probably run around and make a bunch of noise for 10 minutes, but
no, not today.
Not today. Mike's ready.
There you go. So
how you guys doing?
Are you working on Monday?
No, I head off Thursday, Friday, and Monday as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so, and happy pre-Canada Day, DK.
Thank you. Thank you. The best Canada Day ever, free agency. I can't wait. Wife knows I'm on the couch. All chores are deferred tomorrow.
It's going to be an interesting day tomorrow.
Yeah. I have literally taken free agency day off other years. Right. What do you guys got going on? Like, I don't, for Canada Day, we don't have a lot. We're of course on a fire ban, right? Mm-hmm. Like no fires, no fireworks, nothing's allowed. We're polluting the entire planet. I do have a propane pit that I'm allowed to burn. So we're just hanging out, playing it by ear, or whatever happens.
So here in New York, luckily for us, we have the Canada Smoke back. So that is, bringing the air quality way down. But we're also dealing with something else. So the other day, was it 2-3 days ago, whenever it was, I'm out in my backyard and I see these white specks floating around. And it's like, I knew the smoke was coming again. I said, oh, that's got to be, is it ash that's, in the atmosphere, coming down? It turns out that this entire city is being overrun with swarms of gnats.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was manna, like when Moses was in the desert for 40 years.
No, this is a huge thing because nobody knows what they. I know what they are because I used to deal with them when I used to go down south, gnats, but nobody knows what they are, and they're in every borough, they're everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, and I initially thought, when I saw them, I was like, initially I thought it was ash from the smoke, and then my wife's like, no, those are little bugs, and I was like, oh, those got to be gnats. So I sprayed the backyard. You got the off or whatever spray for the little insects. I sprayed thinking it was back there. And then, I'm looking at all the stories on Facebook and people in other boroughs. Now news is popping up that we're being overrun with gnats now. I don't know where they came from, and I don't know why they're here. This has never happened before in the city.
Would this be the optimal time to bring out the propane flamethrower?
It may very well be, because that's the only way we can get rid of them. But I can't go through the entire city blowing.
No, just your yard. Like, just we want Facebook Live with you. Like, it was. You have to admit, when you were cleaning snow, that's the biggest flop I ever saw.
Still, it melted the ice
for like by your shoes.
What did you think was going to happen?
I thought you were going to like clean your whole driveway with this fucking flamethrower.
I could have.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I could have.
You need to go live tomorrow, killing the gnats.
No, tomorrow we're in around. Maybe Sunday. We'll see.
What's going on tomorrow?
I'm running around tomorrow. Got things I gotta do, and then later on we're going over to a friend's house to just hang out, relax, and drink.
Did you get your disability parking spot?
No. I looked it up, and nowhere in there does it say anything about hearing loss for disability.
All right, Mike, what are you doing?
Well, it's going to be hot as balls, so I'll probably spend a lot of time in the pool.
I'd like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to be like damn near brown.
That's the funny thing about Mike, eh? He's been in Arizona since I knew him, and he's never really had a dark tan.
Right.
Yeah, it's the pool.
Okay. Because if I lived down there, I'd be Negrat by now.
Right.
What were you, like a shut-in before you got the pool? I mean, when I went down, I saw you posted pictures like a year ago that we were down there. But yeah, you had no tan, nothing. It was just.
Yeah, it had more to do with just working during the day and nothing to do outside, with the shirt off. So,
right.
Yeah. But those pictures were from my neighbor's pool across the street while ours was still being built.
Oh.
Yeah.
But now you have your own pool.
Yeah, thank God.
So in Arizona, you're like under the dome. You don't have like UV or anything.
Well, we have a lot of, it's almost like dirt in the air. So there's this constant haze. So it's, but it's the heat keeps it all down. It's kind of strange, but yeah, it's going to be 112, I think, tomorrow, and 111 on Sunday.
Jesus. But no humidity.
Very little. When we get monsoon season, that's when we get a little humidity, but it's like 30%,
Yeah,
that's
bad. Nothing. Yeah, that's
no.
Nothing. I know when we were down there, I mean, it was hot. Don't get me wrong, but we're used to being hot and humid up here.
Right.
And, it was nice not to deal with the humidity. Like, even in the heat, I could breathe. Like, when it gets really hot and humid out here and the air is thick, it's really tough to breathe. But down there, I didn't have an issue at all.
Yeah. No, when it hits about 115 to 120, that's when it's almost like you're breathing hot air. It's like you're walking in a sauna. Yeah, but that doesn't happen all the time, so it's good.
All right, boys. Let's go live. Let me hit Pulse Talk Radio. And then I'll cue us. And away we go, folks.
The show is about to start. We have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1.
So enjoy your endless summer here on Cave Crew Radio, and we'll keep this party going till we're buried as deep in snow.
Play your guitar, man. Come on.
When the world turned their back on men, men with a dream and savage yearning within them, legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary, a consuming flame that defies plausible explanation, battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of the Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Craven, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power play goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Cave Crew Radio it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. We, of course, got to find our right there we go. That's the right one. My name is DK. I'm in much better form than last week. There are no margaritas involved, only beer, so I should be okay. As you can see, we have a special guest. We'll get to him very shortly. We had a jam-packed show to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. But it's only going to get better as the night goes on, because things have been added and it's going to be a lot of fun. Will we get to everything? Maybe not, but we'll try. We are live on cavecrewradio.com. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And of course, Pulse Talk Radio. We are available wherever podcasts can be found. Except for Stitcher, because they're apparently going out of business at the end of the month. So sad. Anyway, here we go.
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county of Urian Stench and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies, the self-proclaimed president of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am King B, King of Stenchlandia and the Water Gypsies, your president-elect of the United States of America. And as always, the epicenter of something. This week, I am the epicenter of all things automobile brake failure and very expensive repair.
You have the worst luck, I swear.
This is in my Jeep that I've had since 2010.
Which you swear is the best vehicle. I have one as well.
Yeah, it's a great vehicle, but was it 14
brake
years old?
Failure is never a good thing.
Well, it's 14 years old, so things are going to
realize that, but I'm just imagining you on that bridge or whatever it is, and you're like, "Holy shit, Mrs. B."
So you hear a little bit of grinding, like for a little while. So I knew something was going on. And then the other day, it was you're braking on it, and there was suddenly a bang, and the brake pedal goes all the way down to the floor. So I had to bring it in for an inspection anyway. So I said, I'm going all the way down to the floor now. There's obviously something wrong with the brakes. So I lost my entire rear brakes, both sides. Gone. I needed, and I have the receipt here. So I needed both sides rear brakes, 2 rear rotors, the rear calipers, the brake hose, plus labor. It was $954.
Did you? That's cheap.
For brakes? Not really.
Would be much more than that in Canada. Did you crash?
No.
Okay, good.
Is there money in the beer fund to help out or something? Maybe we could do a GoFundMe.
I would love to do a GoFundMe to pay for my brake failures for $954. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was only using the front brakes to brake when I'm going down to the floor. Front brakes were
Or you could sell the other MacBook and smoker.
Nobody wants to buy it.
Wow.
I've offered. So what I'm keeping the MacBook since my older son is going to college next year. Well, not next year. He'll be a senior. So the year after. So I'm keeping that for him so he can use that for his schooling.
Good thinking.
You're getting so old.
I am. But I've tried to sell the MacBook. Like all the tech people I know, I try to sell the MacBook, and because nobody has any goddamn money, nobody can afford to buy it. Even at the deeply discounted price I was giving them.
But wait a minute. Let's go back, Mike. By the way, why don't you introduce our guest, and then I'll get to this.
Well, direct from Surprise, Arizona, he is the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Jolitz.
Yes.
Hello, guys. The Berserker is in the house.
The Berserker is about to do his segments live. I can't wait. Instead of stumbling over my words during the normal show, I get to actually go and get away with it. It's like when you have an infant, right? Like you can do weird things.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are not known for giving deep discounts. Anyone that has listened to the show since the very beginning remembers the original T-shirt.
And I did tell you about that.
In which I believe it cost me about $100 in shipping.
Canadian? Because that's like $10 American.
Yeah, $10. Yeah.
No, I think it was American. And I will preface this by saying we probably weren't as close as we are now.
Well, I did say so. So the original T-shirts, a friend of mine printed them. I paid for them.
Still have.
I have mine over there somewhere. And I was shipping them out. My wife was shipping them out from her job, but because they were both going international, shipping costs were very high, and she was getting in trouble. Once they saw how much she was paying, she was using their postage. She was getting yelled at, so they wanted reimbursement. So I had to get reimbursement because I got yelled at. She got yelled at, so I got yelled at.
It was and then I got yelled at, and I didn't get beer for 4 weeks. So, how's things over there, Mike?
That's going pretty good. Pretty good.
All right, and you are prepared. I love the comfort level that you're getting at, and we'll get there in a few minutes. But you are prepared to do Mike Reads the News and Twitter shits live.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then I get to do my Twitter shit countdown, which, by the way, last week I had a stinger ready for my 5, and it never happened, but it's okay. It's going to happen tonight.
In fairness, you probably wouldn't have found it last weekend anyway.
No, it was tough. It was a tough week. This is why I drink beer when I do the show. I still have fun. I got to pee and I laugh and I might slur a little bit, but last week, Anyway, next week, ladies and gentlemen, still waiting for final confirmation, but he always comes through in the end. Raymond the Amish comic, which, as Mike will know, Big B and I Won't say a word.
It'll be the easiest show we will ever have.
Yeah. I'll get yelled at a few times for saying Amish.
Yes.
Yeah. And other than that, he'll entertain you for 90 minutes. It's a tradition now, and I can't wait.
I am the link to the Amish comic for you guys. I told Choo Choo Stew about him.
I think you introduced us and started watching him, and I thought, oh, this guy would be cool. And then all of a sudden he got on, and I don't even know if I'm going to say welcome to Cave Crew Radio. Like it's
Right.
We're going to ask one question the entire night, and he's just going to go.
Right. Yeah. I interviewed him years ago, and it was kind of the same way. It was wild. He's a little Robin Williams like. He just wants, turn him, wind him up, and whoosh,
and he's gone. Yep.
Yeah.
And then all you got to do is say one word. Well, maybe not B. I say one word and I set him off into a pile of goo.
He hates Amish.
And he'll go 10 minutes on and on. All right.
Hey, Isbia's in the house, guys. Isbia.
Good evening, Isbia.
Is that who Facebook user is?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm wasted, and you can't even come on as yourself after being a listener of this show. My wife. By the way, before I get to the next thing, what is our drink of the week?
So
do I need the sound?
You can if you want.
I love sound effects.
I know you do.
Mrs. B presents the drink of the week.
So this drink of the week is a little bit different. My wife messaged me yesterday and said my sister-in-law got this for me, and that I have to try it, and I would love it. It's fantastic. So I tried a little bit of it today.
Now, is this Kelly?
Yes.
Okay.
I tried a little bit of it just before the show, and it's the weirdest thing probably I've ever tasted. So what this is now you've heard of my.
God, that's not drink of the week. It's a fucking bottle.
It's going to be my drink of the week. So you know Screwball, right?
Yeah.
That is the peanut butter whiskey that I like to imbibe. This is called Curveball. And
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
What this is they say it's the original barbecue whiskey. It's sweet and it's smoky. And I tried it, and it tastes like liquid barbecue. It is the weirdest thing I've ever had as far as alcohol goes.
So will you at some point smoke whiskey?
Well, I've used whiskey. I've used whiskey in marinades and things like that. I don't think I would take, like find a bottle of whiskey and try to smoke the contents. No.
So after everyone made fun of me, I was last week having a margarita. I think Big B. I can't wait until he starts reading the news.
It's crazy.
Sorry, I missed all this in chat.
It's crazy that this tastes like. It's almost like tasting my ribs when I'm done smoking them, but I'm drinking it. It's the weirdest fucking thing ever. So cheers.
You're eating ribs and you're still hungry.
Man, that's fucking weird. It tastes like smoked meats.
Man, that's so. By the way, sister-in-law has won his heart.
This is awesome.
I can now drink a 40% liquor that tastes like smoked meat.
That's a good day.
It's crazy. If you can find it and you want to try some whiskey, try Curveball.
Yeah, post that in the Facebook group.
Yeah, I've never heard of it until my wife messaged me yesterday. and it's crazy. It's good. It's got a little bit of burn, but really smooth for the most part. You smell the smoke on it.
Does it burn as much as the Canadian smoke?
No, Canadian smoke hurts a lot more.
Do you have that down there, Mike?
I've never seen it.
No, the smoke from Canada.
Oh, no, not here, no. Too far.
Choo Choo Stu just messaged me the other day, and remember Matt, Man of 1,000 Voices?
Sure.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he sent me a message. He said, "Dear Canada, if you're going to send us smoke, can you please send us the good stuff?"
Really.
I don't know who this is, but it's got to be Bacon.
That's
Why is
of course
everyone
that's
Facebook user tonight?
Look, I will complain about your shitty IPA selection all I want. You drink like the alcohol of children. Jesus, it's really
I don't even know
sunflower.
who this is now. We can't even pick on people. No. Facebook users, you are our enemy. We declare war on you tonight.
I guarantee it's mostly Bacon. But yes, I will complain about your shitty IPAs that are filled with sunflowers and fucking
cotton candy
rainbows.
beer.
Yeah, you know what? I like to try beers, Mike, but blueberry, dill, grapefruit is not my idea of a good beer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got this new beer. It's cinnamon muffin and blueberry sticks. What the fuck are you drinking?
Right.
Look at the beautiful cover on this beer. It's absolutely immaculate. It's lavender and roses with a little hint of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this wonderful cardamom beer. It's great.
We call those coolers, not beer.
It's truffle like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
A little bit of truffle.
See, Bacon doesn't realize on when we see it on the chat on our side on the Be Live, it just says Facebook user. There's a link that DK has that you have to click on and like register or whatever you have to do to show your name when you're
And
on
I
Facebook.
thought everyone knew that by now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird. Be Live is weird.
anyway, guys, before we go into our first segment with Mike, take a drink, get ready, Mike. You're going to be on the spotlight. We're going to help you with sound effects. We're good at this. Okay. But before we do that, we had a member of the show that left us a very long time ago. Mm-hmm. He's running marathons along the Sahara Desert. He's eating nothing but lettuce and nuts, but he still listens to the show. But Bigby and I both agreed we created this character, and we own it. And thank you to AI, we now have Choo Choo Stu AI. So, guys, what I'm going to need you to do, I'm moving around from screen to screen like crazy. What I'm going to need you to do is mute. Do you know how to do that, Mike, or you need help?
Oh, sure. Yeah, good.
All right. So, here we go, folks. This is our first live video of Choo Choo Stu AI. So if you guys mute for just a second, here we go.
Hi, I am Choo Choo Stu AI. I once was a chef. The heat in the kitchen was intense. To avoid our asses chafing, we would insert towels inside our buttocks. None of the clients knew what we were doing. We would prepare very fancy meals with dish towels keeping our anus dry. I can imagine we walked a little funny. Join me next time for more stories. It has been great commiserating with you.
There you go.
That was fantastic.
Choo Choo Stu AI. He can abandon us, but thanks. See, Mike, if you leave, you're fucked.
Yeah, true. I'm wondering if Choo Choo Stew AI can come up with those great stories that he used to have. I loved his stories. He was always just crazy.
They're coming. I'm just kind of, I'm commiserating with our AI expert, and things are coming. Trust me.
I can't wait. I can't wait till it's get to the point where I can have a conversation with Choo Choo Stew AI.
Oh,
I know that's going to be tough. That's way, way down the road, but
I'm going to say 24.
All right.
Because we're learning, right?
Yep, for sure.
But that was actually a story, Mike. I don't know if you were around then, but
I remember.
We used to work in a restaurant, and their asses sweat. And they used to put tampons in their ass.
Yeah, I remember.
All right, you ready? It's your time now.
I am ready.
Here we go, folks. One of our most favorite segments, and we can't wait to do it live. And of course, we are going to help, and you can help at home too.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mike Reads the News. ADK, hello, Sir Bigby. We've been here for a while, but I'm used to saying it. Just hard habit. Alrighty, guys, it is now time for the news. Ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
No, that's later.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
It's not like we rehearsed this shit.
I know, exactly. Alrighty, Pat Sajak is leaving Wheel of Fortune. His replacement has been named. It's none other than Ryan Seacrest. Whatever. Jolet's out. I'm not going to watch. I don't care. Seen him enough. In a recent news poll, the top 5 reasons for hospital visits, now get this, were broken bones, heart attack, stroke, childbirth, and man colds. Trust me, ladies, you don't want a man cold. Yeah. Kiss announced yet again that after this end of the road tour, they are retiring. Haven't we heard this like 5 times?
At least.
Yeah.
That's Gene Simmons continuing the money train.
Yeah, exactly. I am on vacation right now, guys. I have 4 more days off, and I am boycotting pants. I am sans pants right now. The podcast app Stitcher, which DK mentioned earlier, is going away at the end of August. That's too bad. I never used it, so it doesn't really affect me much, but it sucks to lose another platform for those who use it.
It was pretty.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nice. A man in Kansas accidentally caused a bomb scare in a Home Depot restroom when he announced he was about to wreck that toilet and suggested people leave the area. People freaked out. The cops were called, and after he finished in the restroom, the cops had some questions for him. 5-time Arena Bowl champions and 1-time Indoor Football League champions, the Arizona Rattlers play the Massachusetts Pirates Sunday night at the Footprint Arena here in Phoenix. I heard those games are fun. Maybe I'll get to check one out someday. The Supreme Court shut down President Dumbass's plan to forgive student debt. Thank you. Great news. Pay off your own debt, you whiny fucking babies. And finally in the news, some common sense from the sports world. DK, you may have heard of this. The NHL said no more to specialty sweaters during warm-ups. They deemed that whole pride thing to be a distraction. The backlash was terrible for them, I guess. Yeah. And now, guys, it is time for the tidbits. This is a sad story. Disney has lost over $900 million over their last 8 movies. It's too bad. Go woke, go broke. 6 packs of Bud Light are selling for $63 at tomorrow's NASCAR street race in Chicago. $10 a beer? Yeah. Jimmy Buffett is not going to be playing at Summerfest on July 6th. Sorry, Parrot Heads. That's a music festival back in Milwaukee. It's great.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right. Oh, all right. Garfield the cat turned 45 years old this month. Woo. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actor Alan.
Oh yeah, I'll remember that next.
I know. I slipped my mind too. Actor Alan Arkin died. He was 89. Remember him?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, and here's the final tidbit, guys. My 10-year-old daughter got a 24-hour ban on Roblox. I'm so proud of her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, that does it for the news. That does it for the tidbits. Let's get back to the show.
I think we nailed that pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I just forgot about. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Can I make one suggestion?
Sure.
When there's the big oh yeah, like the one with your daughter, you should do the Macho Man. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd have to get back from the mic. Hold on a sec.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
There you go. I'll tell you something right now, brother. I'm ended up on cocaine and amphetamines, but I'm not gonna have a heart attack when I'm 54.
Right.
Yeah, had a heart attack and hit a tree while driving. Ooh,
Yeah. It was the best time of my life. Miss Elizabeth, you should have been there.
Suddenly he turns into Red Fox. Elizabeth, I'm coming. I'm coming, Elizabeth.
It's the big one.
It's the big one.
I wonder if he was saying that. And Lex Luger, no pun intended, at the same time was like this frail guy in a chair. You remember Lex Luger? He was a smooch.
Lex Luger is like 63 pounds now.
Yeah.
Holy
crazy.
Christ.
He was banging Miss Elizabeth behind Randy. Dark Side of the Ring, ladies and gentlemen.
love
If you
Dark
want
Side.
to know, really want to get some good wrestling stories, Dark Side of the Ring.
I love Dark Side of the Ring. I've seen every episode. I just finished watching the Doink the Clown episode.
Oh, that's on now. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
Matt
that
Bourne.
was I think that was
Matt
last
Bourne.
week's. Matt Bourne, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Another great podcast wrestling type was Piper's Pit with Roddy Piper. If you could find that anywhere, check that out. It's amazing.
Piper,
It's a podcast because that was a segment.
Yeah, no, he did a podcast, like 60, 70 episodes. He had
Oh, wow. I didn't
Macho
know
Man, everybody. He had his brother on there, all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
I
great
didn't
stuff.
know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
I loved the Piper's Pit actual episodes when I was a kid. Of course, the famous one with Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, when he smashed the coconut.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we got stuff to get to, folks. This is not in the agenda, but I went to what was then Maple Leaf Gardens and saw when Piper turned, and it was him and Hogan as partners against, I think it was Adrian Adonis and Paul Orndorff. Anyway, like the place lit up. Piper and Hogan,
Yeah, for sure.
the
Piper was the
enemies,
greatest heel.
as friends. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It
And,
was
that was,
awesome.
and Paul Orndorff turned on Hogan like 16 times.
Well, he was.
Like every other week, Paul Orndorff was turning on Hulk Hogan and turning bad. It was great.
And of course, the biggest heel turn of all time, Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
And that was on Piper's Pit, wasn't it? When he turned and grabbed Hogan, ripped his chain off and all that. That was on Piper's Pit, I believe.
Oh.
And then I remember I was a kid. I hated Hogan, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I was a huge, magnificent Morocco fan. I loved Macho Man.
Jake the Snake.
Ultimate
Jake
Warrior.
the Snake. Loved all the bad guys back then. I hated Hogan. And I thought for sure Andre was going to beat him. And Hogan with his two moves.
Well, they said I saw an interview with Hulk Hogan and others around that WrestleMania 3 match, and they didn't know. Hogan didn't even know that he was going to win until Andre told him to do his moves, because they left it up to Andre. He had so much clout in the WWF that it was like Hogan was like, "You want me to lose? I'll lose and drop the belt to you." But Andre, did the job, so to speak, and as Hogan said, Andre just said boot, meaning give him the boot, the big boot, and then the leg drop to pin him. And he was always grateful to Andre for that, because that really, really put him fully over.
Yeah. All right, folks. Another segment we do, and we love it when Mike is along with us, is the weird news. We have a few stories tonight that may interest you. Here we go.
Behind the headlines this week in weird news.
Before we get to the weird news, I went back from Choo Choo Stew AI talking about that story. I went back in the book. I have it. I found it in the book. He called it Chef's Asshole.
Yeah, Chef's Ass.
Yep,
Nice.
that's what he called it. He called it Chef's Asshole. He had a sweaty asshole and would put things up there to keep it dry.
Yeah, and he was living in that apartment, and they'd steal food, and we don't have time, ladies and gentlemen. If you really want, like we did the Book of Stew, we have Choo Choo Stew AI, but if you really want to hear the stories, you got to go back to like 2017,
right,
and listen, because you want to talk about getting derailed on a show.
Any topic we would bring up, he would have a story.
Yeah.
And it was always good.
Always. And we'd learn new words, and awesome. Big shout out to Stu, by the way, because he texted us this week, BB. He still listens.
I haven't heard from Stu in months, and he came out of nowhere and texted and says he still loves listening every week.
Even though he will not eat bread or soda or alcohol, he still enjoys the show, which is it's good, because I don't think we appeal to those kind of people.
Right. Stu will help us break ground.
Yeah. He's
all right.
He's in great shape, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on, I gotta get to the what is the first? Oh, this is a good one. So we've all had bad dreams. You have a dream and you wake up and you're like, where am I?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this is a good reason not to have a loaded weapon by bedside.
Lock your weapons away when you go to bed. If something happens, you can always unlock it very quickly.
Yeah.
First story of the night comes from CBS News. Headline reads, "A sleeping man dreamed someone broke into his home. He fired at the intruder and shot himself."
Could you imagine calling 911 over this?
A 62-year-old
It wasn't suicide, I swear.
A 62-year-old man is facing firearms charges in Illinois after authorities say he accidentally shot himself in the leg in his sleep while dreaming that he was defending himself against a quote-unquote intruder in his home. The man, identified as Mark Diacra of Lake Barrington, used a .357 Magnum revolver that he owned to fire the shot at around 9:50 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, the .357 Magnum revolver is the Dirty Harry weapon.
Yeah.
It's what Hutch used to carry in Starsky and Hutch.
Sure.
Oh my God, I never thought I'd hear a Starsky and Hutch reference. I loved Starsky and Hutch.
Remember when Starsky had the little gun and Hutch had the big one? I used to have toys of them both when I was a kid.
Wow.
My dad even had a Gran Turismo. It wasn't as fancy, but
Nice.
I'm sure it wasn't red with the white stripe on it either.
no, but still.
But it was an awesome car.
I used to play in it. I didn't have the key, but I get in with my Magnum. Anyway, carry on.
And don't forget the pimp, Huggy Bear.
Yeah. Oh my God, I gotta go back and watch this now.
So I have a question. Was this guy fully clothed? Because I'm in the buff kind of guy, and if I did that, I would be in trouble.
It doesn't say whether he had clothes on or not.
Okay.
But what do? We
Well,
fill in the
we
blanks
fill in
and
the
we
blanks,
make things up. Yeah.
According to Lake County Sheriff's deputies, on the night of the incident, DeCara dreamed someone was breaking into his home and retrieved the gun to shoot at whomever he believed was the quote-unquote intruder. But when he fired the revolver, DeCara shot himself in the leg instead and woke from the dream. Authorities also confirmed during the probe that an attempted burglary did not happen at DeCara's residence, and there was no intruder on his property. Sheriff's deputies responded to the scene after receiving a call reporting a person with a gunshot wound at the residence. They found DeCara when they arrived, suffering from a gunshot wound to the leg and losing what they described as a significant amount of blood. It was later determined that the round discharged from his gun went through the leg and lodged itself in his bedding, so no one else was harmed. Deputies applied a tourniquet to the leg after finding DeCara and transported him to the hospital for treatment.
Do you ever wake up with a Charlie horse?
Yeah.
In your calf?
Yeah.
I imagine it's the same kind of pain, right?
Except it's on fire.
Except it's on fire and very wet because there's blood all over the place.
Right.
I'm wondering though, Big B, and I know you and Michael fill in the blanks for me. He's asleep. He's having a dream. Intruders in the house. How did he find his gun?
I don't know. Unless he keeps it like right on like the bedside table, like right there out in the open, and maybe just subconsciously he knew it and grabbed it.
Right.
That's the only. I can't imagine that he got up, walked over to a gun safe, opened it up, and then it just sounds like it was right there. He grabbed it and fired. During the investigation that followed, authorities realized that DeCara owned and used the revolver despite not having a firearm owner's identification card, which is mandatory in Illinois in order to legally possess a gun.
Illegal weapon. This is getting better.
Authorities said DeCara's identification card had previously been revoked, although they did not share the details as to why. The Lake County State's Attorney's Office approved 2 charges for DeCara for possession of a firearm without a valid FOID card, which is the firearms ID, and reckless discharge of a firearm. They are considered Class 3 and Class 4 felonies. DeCara was arrested in Lake County on Monday and then released after posting a $150,000 bond. Wow. He's scheduled to appear in court yesterday. Now, imagine
all this over a nightmare.
Yeah.
Imagine you are a law-abiding citizen. You own a gun. Yes, you don't have your carry permit or concealed weapon permit, but you own a firearm, and for the most part, you seem to be safe with it. You're dreaming. In your dream, you're doing the right thing and defending your home. You wind up shooting yourself and getting arrested for it. That is the worst dream/nightmare ever on the face of this earth.
It's an alternate reality nightmare.
I would think that the whole fact that this is on the news everywhere, that would be punishment enough. Pay the hospital and you're good. Don't ever try to get a gun again. Just leave it.
And you got to imagine, like, you're laying down, right? And you're still sleeping in your dream. So to shoot yourself in the leg, you got to figure you're not standing up, right? You're not getting out of bed and standing up and firing randomly. You're laying down, and all you did was point the gun down.
And there must have been some commiserating along the way, though. You probably woke up and go, "You fucker."
I want to know who called, because it doesn't say that anyone else was in the house, just that a caller called about a person with a gunshot wound. Who called?
Maybe it was the ghost of Christmas past.
I will say it was an actual intruder that called because he wound up shooting himself in the leg, and the intruder got away scot-free.
So this is an intruder with a conscience.
Yes. No, this is not an intruder with a conscience. This is an intruder protecting his own ass because he knows the guy was asleep, didn't realize anything, just grabbed the gun and shot himself in the leg. The intruder realized, hey, look, I can get away with this shit because this dude is still asleep. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And it looks like he just shot himself. So this dude is long gone, scot-free. Nobody knows he was there. He's on to his next, crime.
Or not.
Or not. Maybe he learned his lesson. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I say it was the intruder that called the police.
It was not a dream, Big D.
I
says.
say it was not a dream. I say
Because-
he heard something subconsciously. He heard the break-in. Although there was no evidence, maybe this person had a key. It was a friend of his that, had ill will. He had a key. He got into the house. This dude shot himself in the leg. The intruder was like, oh, fuck, I can get away with this. I'm gone. Call 911. Somebody shot themselves, and you're gone.
Yeah, it'd
This
be wild
is
if
in
something was
reference,
missing.
Mike, to the ghost stories from last week.
Mhm.
We had 2 ghost stories. We seem to get a trend.
Nice.
All right. I don't know. I think the guy was on a bad trip. I've had some pretty vivid dreams. But
Yeah, I'm there as well. Jay Vegas said, you'll shoot your eye out, in case anyone didn't see that.
you may do that.
From A Christmas Story. You'll shoot
now-
your eye out with that thing.
Here's a good one. And we may need a little religion after this story. This one is weird.
It's really weird, and
Yeah.
I question the employees in this. The next story comes from the New York Post. The headline reads, "Restaurant hired fake priest to get sin confessions from workers." It was unholy behavior. The owner of a California taqueria chain have been ordered to pay $70,000 in damages to employees who met with a quote-unquote person identified as a priest to confess workplace sins. 35 employees of Taqueria Garibaldi, owned by Che Garibaldi, who operates locations in Sacramento and Roseville, were awarded the amount following an investigation by the U.S. Department of Labor. An employee told the court the priest urged workers to get the sins out and asked them if they had
Excuse
stolen.
me again. I
Okay.
thought it was a slow night, but not
You're writing that down. I was going to write it down, but you got it. And asked them if they had stolen from the employer, been late for work, had done anything to harm their employer, or if they had bad intentions toward their employer. They added that the intimidating stunt was among the most shameless they had ever seen. The identity of the so-called priest has not been disclosed. Maria Parra, an employee of Taqueria Garibaldi, was one of the workers who fell victim to the scam. As soon as the confession started, I found the conversation to be strange and unlike normal confessions where I would tell a priest about the sins I wanted to confess. The employee added that the priest was only interested in hearing about sins committed on the job. The Department of Labor only uncovered the spiritual scam after an investigation into unpaid wages. They subsequently discovered that the owner denied employees overtime pay for hours over 40 in a work week, which is a violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act. In addition to $70,000 in damages, Taqueria Garibaldi is now also required to pay $70,000 in back pay to the employees. The owner will additionally have to fork out $5,000 in civil money penalties to the Department of Labor due to the willful nature of their violations. Additionally, the Department
See, Karma's a bitch.
Additionally, the Department of Labor, fucking ads, hold on. Additionally, the Department of Labor says the owner threatened employees with retaliation and adverse immigration consequences for cooperating with the department and fired one worker who they believed had complained to the department. The Post had contacted one of the listed owners of Taqueria Garibaldi for comment. Quote unquote, this employer's despicable attempts to retaliate against employees were intended to silence workers, obstruct an investigation, and prevent the recovery of unpaid wages.
Can we give this guy at least an E for effort and being creative?
Now, I have a question, and I blame every single one of the employees for this. We all have jobs. We've all had past jobs. We've all had shitty menial jobs when we were younger. If any of our employers brought in a priest to confess sins, I think I can speak for all three of us when I say we would have told them to go fuck themselves.
Well, first of all, I'm not Catholic. Although I sometimes think talking to HR is like talking to a priest. I don't know about you, Mike.
Right. See, now, as far as this goes, with the priest coming in and work bringing the guy in, I don't trust anything my workplace tells me at all, ever anymore, until it's in front of me and I could prove that it's okay.
Mhm.
I don't believe anything anymore.
That's big corporations. But yeah, I agree with Big B. At the beginning, he said, I blame the employees.
First.
Hi, Big B and Mike. You're great employees. I just want to get some feedback and cleanse your soul at the same time. I'm bringing in a priest for confession.
Right. At that point, I would have laughed directly in his face and told him to fuck off. If I would have gotten fired, it's a fucking shitty restaurant job. Whatever.
Unless they're all immigrants. Maybe they're all maybe they're Mexicans that really think this is like Cinco de Mayo or something.
Well, the story did say that he threatened them with immigration, so I would assume they were illegals. But regardless, even if you're illegal, you can get another job, right? There's plenty of jobs out there that are going to hire illegals because they can pay them less. So you can just go from job to job. You don't have to sit there and say, a priest is suddenly coming to the restaurant. Like, this isn't a religious experience. This is a fucking job where you wait tables or bus tables or cook, whatever you're doing. It's not a religious experience. That's why I blame the employees for going along with this stupid shit.
But I gotta admit, though, this is the best employee survey, the most creative way of doing it I have ever heard of. This is like employee engagement 101 times 10. I love it.
Yeah, employee surveys I will not do as well because I don't believe when they say it doesn't, we don't know who sent it. No, sorry.
No, of course. We don't know who sent it. Yeah, right. I work in IT.
Uh-huh.
You know who sent it.
Yeah, the IP address. So anyway, differing opinions on that. I thought it was creative.
It is, but it's shady. Very shady.
Yeah, and the employees are stupid for going along with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of shady employees.
Aha.
Here's a gentleman that, just say you got a toothache or something. That's all I'm going to say.
If you need a day off, call out sick, make up an excuse, do whatever you need to do before you get to work.
Yeah.
This next story comes from live5news.com. Headline reads, gas station clerk asks friend to rob store so he can go home early.
Again, and there should be a new award at the end of the year. E for effort.
It's a good idea.
A gas station employee in Tulsa is accused of asking a friend to find someone to rob the store so he could go home early.
Yeah. Stick a pistol in my face. I want to go home at 3 instead of 5.
According to the Tulsa Police Department, the investigation began when the employee Isaiah Jones reported that a man walked into the store June 5th and handed him a note that read, "Give me all your money or I will shoot you."
I'll shoot you.
Jones complied, and the suspect left with cash. Investigators later identified Stephen Jones, which is no relation, as a suspect and arrested him on June 8th. However, police said there was more to the story than what appeared. Stephen Jones confessed to the robbery, but said his friend Aaliyah Locke set up the crime because Isaiah Jones had asked her if someone could rob the store so he could go home early. Police said Locke
we
was
had
arrested.
Aaliyah Locke to our radio play.
To the Weaver story?
Yeah. Aaliyah Locke.
Police
Maybe
said
he's the milkman or something.
She,
sorry. So, Aaliyah, Elias.
This is
Elijah.
That's her.
Okay.
Hang on.
You want me to hold it up?
Well, I'm not as quick as you want. Oh, okay.
There you go. So that's Aaliyah. That's
they
Aaliyah
were
Locke and
working in-
Stephen Jones.
They were working in tandem.
They were working in tandem with Isaiah, who is the other man pictured here. Police said Locke was arrested for an outstanding warrant and provided text messages that corroborated Stephen Jones' story. Police then arrested Isaiah Jones on Wednesday, who admitted to asking Locke to find someone to rob the store because he was tired and wanted to go home.
I've got a toothache. Is all it would have took.
I feel sick. I threw up in the bathroom. I need to go home.
While cleaning the glory hole, I cut my finger. There's so many different ways you could have done this.
Hold while I write down a show note.
So Big B mentioned last week about live PD, and what do the cops say about criminals? Who do they catch?
They only catch the dumb ones.
Yeah,
that's right.
Dumb, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the story won't tell us, but I show up for my shift, let's say 7:30. Going home at 4, that's not really cool. If I want to go home, I want to go home at 7:35.
Right.
I wonder how far into his shift he was.
It doesn't say.
Of course.
But it does say Isaiah Jones is charged with embezzlement and conspiracy to commit a felony. Stephen Jones is charged with conspiracy to commit embezzlement and possession of a firearm after the former conviction of a felony. Locke was arrested for an outstanding warrant and could also face charges of embezzlement. Both men were released on bond. As of Friday afternoon, Locke remains in the Tulsa County Jail.
So you get the 7 shades of Kevin Bacon over a sick day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the dumbest part of this, I mean, the whole thing is dumb, but the dumbest part of this is that you handed money over. So like you could have had an attempted robbery and pretended to fight off the robber, and you don't steal from your employer, right? But you handed over the money, which is the embezzlement charge.
Right. Well, first of all, he's losing money on his pay, so he's not going to pay him out of his pocket.
Right. But Mike brings it up. What I said last week, it's always true. They say they don't catch the smart ones; they catch the dumb ones.
Yeah.
And for the most part, the ones that, most of the criminals are dumb. They
Absolutely.
always slip up. They make a mistake. Something.
All right, folks, we are drawing nearer and nearer to Twitter shits live, but we have 2 more.
2 more stories that kind of go hand in hand.
I like this one though. This is a show I used to watch when I was faking sick.
To not go to work.
Yeah, it's on noon, 1 o'clock. Turn them on. Turn on Maury.
Yep.
So keep this story in mind. Listen to this story and keep this story in mind when we talk about the next story.
Right.
This story comes from the Today Show, today.com.
Yeah.
Headline
Reliable.
reads, Maury Povich to launch at-home paternity test, fittingly called The Results Are In.
You are not the father.
Maury Povich is famous for his DNA results. You are or you are not the father. The former Maury host, who is, I didn't realize he's 84, Jesus, is partnering with the same DNA testing lab he relied on during the run of his daytime talk show. Maury Povich is releasing a new at-home paternity test called The Results Are In. The former Maury host is partnering with DNA Diagnostics Center, which is the same DNA testing lab his daytime talk show relied on to settle guests' paternity disputes.
Let me guess. West Virginia is the number one subscription.
Does not say that.
All right.
During those often explosive segments of the show, Povich would utter the famous catchphrase, "The results are in," before revealing a child's paternity. The company
He would also say,
You are not the father.
or you are the father.
Or you are, yeah.
The company said in its release that its new paternity test aims to provide families with affordable, accurate, and reliable paternity testing from the comfort of their homes. The release explained that the test will allow users to collect and submit their own DNA samples without the need for assistance from medical professional. It guaranteed that the test results would be available in up to 2 days and would be 99.99% accurate. Quote, I've seen firsthand how DNA testing can change lives and bring families together, Povich said in a statement. With the results,
punching the shit out of each other.
With the results are in, we're making it easier and more affordable than ever before for people to get the answers they need. Dr. John Torres, senior medical correspondent for NBC News, told Today that at-home paternity tests are typically very reliable. Torres
We
explained,
should do this with all our children.
Can you imagine if something comes back bad?
Oh, God, yeah.
Listen, I'm in so deep right now, I'd accept it.
Torres explained that there are two types of tests, blood tests and DNA tests, which rely on cheek swabs. Provided that the sample is obtained correctly and sent to a legitimate lab, the results should be accurate. Torres says there are certain things to keep in mind when it comes to at-home paternity tests. The accuracy is high and the implications are too. He said, noting that test samples could be submitted without a person's permission, which might result in legal implications.
I would think that implications would be worse. Like I wouldn't do that ever. The 23andMe, I'm not sending you a sample of my DNA.
I did that.
I'm fearful of what people could do with that sort of stuff.
Hey, if they want to create another 21andMe, God bless us. We'll take over the world.
They have 22 DKs.
And there was it was controversial at the time, but police discovered the identity of the Golden State Killer through a DNA site, not 23andMe, but it was a site where people would upload DNA to find lost relatives.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of public domain, right? It wasn't private. Like 23andMe is private. You need a search warrant and all that stuff to get. But this site, I don't remember what it was called, but is public domain. So all police did was they had a DNA sample on record. They submitted it to this public site, and it was a match to one of the family members of the Golden State Killer. That's how they found him, like 50 years later. And it was a couple of years ago that they arrested him. He's like an old man now.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I did 23andMe. I'm not fearful of it. It's a private company. I haven't murdered anybody yet, so I'm not worried about my DNA being anywhere.
Until my brakes failed.
Right. I have not raped yet. Again, still.
Well,
I have also not raped.
Okay, I was going to ask. We haven't had a checkup in a while.
Right.
I have not raped.
I love bringing that up.
So, we've heard about the Maury Povich DNA test.
All right, so we're done with this.
We are done with that. Now,
This. Wait a minute. Let me get it.
No, I'm not reading it yet.
Is a good one.
So we've just found out about the Maury Povich DNA at-home test. But why do you need a DNA test? You need to be impregnated, right? You need to have a child. Well, in certain circumstances, it may not be that simple as a man and woman sleeping together. There may be mitigating circumstances.
It's the virgin birth.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out about that now.
Can't wait.
This
I
final
love this
story of weird news, before we get to FLA and Twitter shits, comes from the New York Post. The headline reads, "My jailed fiance mailed me his sperm in a sandwich bag."
In a sandwich bag? How does that get out of the prison? So many questions.
You do have something ready, right? You do have something ready, right? I made notes. Don't play it.
You tell me when.
Don't
tell
play
me
it,
when.
but just make sure it's ready.
I am.
Call it cuffing season. A Virginia.
Excuse me. You can't do anything yet.
Excuse me, while he writes things down. Call it cuffing season. I have to wait for him because, a Virginia woman says she tried to conceive a baby with her incarcerated fiance after he sent her his sperm in a plastic sandwich baggie from behind bars. Go ahead.
It's happened where? On TikTok.
The TikToker named Nesha revealed the shocking male tale in a viral video, which has clocked up more than 5 million views.
Wow.
Nesha's felon fiance Twino is locked up for unidentified offenses and is set to be released within a year. But the experimental couple decided to try and conceive, quote unquote, for fun. Calling it a crazy experience.
Wait a minute. This is an AI conjugal visit.
Right. Calling it a crazy experience. Nesha showed a play-by-play of detecting ovulation after she received Twino's specimen via the Postal Service. She subsequently received a positive pregnancy test, which was later revealed to be a false positive. Now, before I go on, we're at the point where I need to ask a question.
I have a question as well.
The sperm was sent in a sandwich bag. Now, the sperm is obviously not a solid; it's a liquid. We all know that.
Yeah.
A liquid. If I've done plenty of barbecuing, we've all done barbecuing and saved liquids in a bag. It gets stuck to the side of the bag.
Right. So you're damaged sperm.
No. I'm not worried about damaged sperm. What I'm worried about and what I need to kind of fill in the blanks in is how she got the sperm inside of her. I believe since the sperm sticks to the side of the sandwich, it's like a Ziploc sandwich bag. She turned the bag inside out, rubbed it on herself, and forced it in there.
Well, she probably spit into the bag too to give it a little moisture.
I think you're gonna. Now, here's the fantastic thing about this. When we do the Dr. Sue tribute, I think you're going to get your answer.
Oh, okay then.
So stand by for that after Twitter shits. My question is, they always tell us, like, don't leave chicken out too long, don't leave beef out too long. It didn't say he shipped it in dry ice or anything. He basically whacked off, right? He did a whole lot of Rosie, and he sealed the sandwich bag. Somehow got by the guards, sent it off as inter-office mail. How long does sperm live?
Yeah, it should have been dead.
I don't know. And it doesn't say here, but it does say a week after the store-bought test, she supposedly went to a physician who performed further labs to confirm the pregnancy, but all the results apparently returned negative. It was a little disheartening to hear, she said in a subsequent video on YouTube, adding that she feared she did something wrong when trying to conceive. Initially, she claimed she spoke with a specialist who gave her a 10% chance of the mail order sperm successfully impregnating her. She still encouraged me at least to give it a try, Nesha said. So that's what I did. On his end, Twino deposited his specimen into the plastic sandwich baggie before mailing it by USPS. It arrived in just 2 days at Nesha's front door, and she attempted to impregnate herself in her home bathroom. After the false positive, the pair will wait until after Twino's release to start a family. I feel bad for that child if they ever conceive. We are not trying again. It was just for fun to see if it would even work.
So this was a false alarm.
Right. She was never pregnant. No, this was just some dumb shit that they wanted to do. I think it was more on her because she wanted her TikTok views.
Yeah.
You know my feeling on TikTok, the dumbest people on this planet. She just wanted her TikTok views and said, "Send this to me and I'll put it up and I'll get whatever." She thinks she's going to get money off this.
Even the rag doll and that Brazilian pig have a better success rate.
They at least have ragdoll children.
Oh,
I remember that.
And I really do like if these two do conceive a child, I feel extremely bad for that child. That child is going to turn out really, really terribly because that child will be raised by one a fucking convicted felon, and two an attention whore TikTok user who's more worried about herself than anything else. It's going to be terrible for the child.
Oh, look, what we have up before Twitter shits.
Ooh, what do we have?
Will be the answer to your question.
Oh, okay.
So we've talked about Dr. Sue Johansson on the show. I'll give you a chance to have a few swigs of your barbecue rib, Big B.
She was great.
Thank you for all your talking, by the way. Me and Mike will take it from here for 5 or 10.
She was fantastic. Sue Johansson. I loved watching her show.
Do you remember her? So she did she started on radio. She did the Sunday night sex show. And the weird thing about this is Big B and I were talking about this, I'd say a month ago, where she was, her popularity, what can I say, was rejuvenating. She was becoming popular again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then yesterday we find out that she has passed.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd play another clip just for those of you that don't know her, of the kind of sexual advice she gave to people, and probably made a lot of people who had tough questions beyond the birds and the bees, and made them feel they were in a safe place to ask.
Right.
Big B, this may answer your question about the sandwich bag of semen.
Okay.
The show name.
Listen in here, folks.
And moving on, we have Tony calling in from Ottawa. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Sue. How are you tonight?
I am well. You've got a question.
Okay, me and my girlfriend, we have anal sex a lot.
Yeah?
And we don't use condoms when we do it. And someone told me that you could get the girl pregnant by having anal sex. I mean, obviously it's not direct, but I mean, it's when
Yeah.
like it leaks out and
Yeah.
it lets down the skin.
That's
there.
right. Because if you have anal sex, usually the female is in doggy position. You know what I mean by doggy style?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she's on the bottom with her tush stuck up in the air, and you have anal penetration that way. But when you pull out, some of that ejaculate can come with your penis and drizzle down over her genitals and around. And if any of it gets in contact with her vagina, the vaginal opening, those little guys can swim. And those sperm know which way is up. And they got a one-track mind.
Well, there you go, Big B. The answer to your question.
I guess.
God rest her soul.
This
God
is
rest-
like she's the Canadian version of
Dr.
Mike, what's
Ruth.
her name? Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth.
Yeah.
She's the Canadian version of Dr. Ruth. I don't buy it.
But she was like famous, and she was so good at talking X-rated without really crossing the line.
Now, wait, Mike, where did you hear her? Because like here in New York, I mean, we never got her.
Something on late night cable is the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, she was the Sunday night sex show.
Interesting.
And she looked aged then, and I was a kid, and I'm getting older, as you can tell.
Yeah.
So,
and as you can tell with the question that was asked, it was done very innocently, like, "Hey, can you?" without sounding like you said, like she never made them feel stupid for asking. They're asking legit questions. They had, they wanted to know, and she was good. It's really good.
like, could you imagine someone calling us right now? We open phones. Hello, guys. I like to stick my cock up the ass of a goat.
Can they get pregnant?
It'd be hard for me to keep a straight face. Like, she did very well. She
would that be Bill from Calgary asking that?
Right. Calgary.
Could have been Bill, yeah.
Calgary, yes.
Yeah, Calgary.
With the Syrian
Calgary.
refugees. But the weird thing of it is I swear it was a month ago. I have to go back and check. But she had this resurgence, and I played the tape about sex in a hot tub and how chlorine can get in the ovaries and stuff like that. She was just becoming like, it's like bell bottoms coming in style again.
Oh. Please no.
All right.
Mike has bad memories of bell bottoms, apparently.
No, I think I may have had someone as a kid, but that wasn't my choice.
Oh.
We
All I
all
know
did.
is
We were all
I
kids of the 70s. Come on.
Right.
I wore corduroys. That's all I can tell you.
Oh,
I had those
corduroy. I
too.
wore corduroys too. Yeah. Yep.
I wish they'd come back.
No.
They're so cool. Especially the blue ones. Everyone wore brown ones, but I had a pair of blue ones.
I had black corduroys.
Yeah.
Yo, see, we
Like a
all
man
wore
boy.
corduroy. You wear corduroys, I wear corduroys. Everyone wore corduroys. All right, baby, pour yourself another one. You're still off the clock. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait. This is one of my favorite segments, if not my favorite segment. And then, of course, I get to do my follow-up on this, which I have missed doing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Twitter shits. For those of you in the audience that are new, Mike reads a tweet and then tells us the responses. Here we go.
Mike Joe, it's Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joe, it's Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joe, it's Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right. All right.
Hello, and welcome back, everyone, to the Twitter shits. Today's episode is all about Meghan Markle's woke podcast editing, or ending, rather. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a thing, to be honest. Anyway, Twitter had a bunch to say in it. Here we go. Sergeant Lorenz tweeted, she had a podcast? At Weird Al Yankin' My Dick tweeted, aw, I'm sure both listeners will be devastated. At Milk Milk Lemonade tweeted, turn the corner, fudge is made. I don't know why.
Can you repeat that one, please? I can't write this fast.
I know I talk so fast. Let me see. That was at Milk Milk Lemonade tweeted, turn the corner, fudge is made. At Fuck You Josh tweeted, she's the Duchess of Suck. At Florida Box Guy tweeted out, watch, she'll top Joe Rogan before she leaves. At Megan's Hole tweeted, is this an Onion story? Because she's great. I don't know. That might have been sarcastic. I'm not sure. At Ship to Bed tweeted, she's so unsuccessful. I don't know. And finally, in the Twitter shits, I'm a Rappin' Ho tweeted, I can't be bothered with this right now. The WNBA season is on. That does it for the Twitter shits, guys. And Lincoln Howard is in on the chat. And I just want to say thanks, Lincoln. It's a great song. I love it.
Mike Joe, it's Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joe, it's Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joe, it's Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right. All right.
All right, so awesome as always, and I love it live. I love that. I love doing this stuff live, and I believe that Big B and I have given Mike a safe place to do this live. It's a great recorded, but it's better live.
Oh,
and
much better live.
But if you, how many times have I dumbed over my words? It happens all the time. But the other part of Twitter shits that I really like is I give you my top 5 handles. And welcome to the show, Lynx, and everyone else listening out there. We're glad you're here. Lynx, you're late. You missed a lot of really good shit. Number 5, Fuck You Josh.
My favorite. I love that one.
We'll come back. You guys can chime in. This is my little thing. Number 4, Shit the Bed. Number 3, Weird Al Yank My Dick.
That was another good one. I like that one.
Number 2, Megan's Hole. But, ladies and gentlemen,
and the number 1 Twitter handle is
write this down, Big B. It's either a show name or a show note. And I believe this may win the Twitter Shit Handle Award at the end of the year. Milk Lemonade. I don't know how you guys feel about my picks, but that's what they are.
I thought it was fun when I threw in Florida Box Guy too. Going back to last week.
That fast.
Yeah, and I talk fast, especially when I'm trying to, crank them out. But yeah,
I really liked Fuck You Josh.
Yeah, no, that was good. And Megan's Hole, they're all good. But Milk Lemonade, that one, that's got to be a show note, Big. Come on.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, and do you guys know what that means?
It will be in my list.
Right.
I have no idea what it means. There's a meaning?
Milk, ladies, lemonade, turn the corner, fudge is made.
I had no idea what that meant. Did you, Big B?
No.
Okay, well, the breasts are the milk.
Yes,
lemonade
I get that.
is the veg, and the fudge is made on the backside. So it's a clever little butt joke that I learned as a kid.
I never heard that.
and I'm half a century in, and this is the first thing I ever heard of milk lemonade. Milk lemonade may beat my number one, and I've got a really, really good number one.
I don't think it'll beat my number one, but we will see. Link says his vote was Weird Al yanking my dick.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, we should have surveys up. And then what else we got here? Amy Schumer has a music video about it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. One of the few things she's funny on.
I was going to say, it says, check it out. It's funny. Nothing Amy Schumer does is funny.
This is actually really funny.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Amy Schumer did something humorous?
Yes. Yeah, the one time.
I don't believe it.
Oh, and look what he likes.
Jay Vegas loves his corduroys.
No, he wants that as show name. Do you have that written? I don't.
You want me to write it down? Everyone.
I don't know. It's just people are putting in ideas. We're not done yet, folks.
But keep throwing them in if you come up with something. Why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that how you spell corduroys? I don't even know. C-O-R-D-U-R.
Welcome to the spelling segment of Cave Crew Radio.
You're usually my spelling guy. All right. Do you have a few minutes to go over, Mike?
Sure.
All right. I say, Big B, we skip to the last two.
Hold on. Let me get there.
Florida stories.
You want the last? Okay. The last two. Got it. Okay.
I think are the best. How about you?
That's fine.
All right,
Definitely the last one for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to do the last two in a little segment we have called Talking FLA. And here we go.
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the news.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone loves that tune.
It's great.
And why is that on top?
I don't know, but Lynx does good stuff.
Absolutely.
I love my favorite is the Twitter shits. I love the Twitter shit song.
Yeah. No, Lynx does good stuff, folks. Anyway, Talking FLA, for those of you that are new, I notice we have a good crowd out here, is Florida. Florida is very well known for being weird.
Very weird.
Yeah. And this is an island. When I went to Florida, I didn't have a chance to observe.
Well, everybody loves to go to a lot of people love to go to islands for vacation. I don't think a lot of people know this island, and maybe you should. This first story for Talking FLA comes from foxnews.com. Headline reads, Squatters take over Florida meth island. Build elaborate treehouse and install a trampoline. Florida law enforcement officials are working to remove squatters from an island they outfitted with an elaborate treehouse, a welcome center, and a trampoline.
What do you like the most? The trampoline, the treehouse, or the welcome center?
Welcome center.
Yeah, I agree. The welcome center. Hello, welcome. You're about to trip off your fucking ass and maybe overdose.
I go with the trampoline because it's the most random thing ever.
It is good, yeah.
It's just, we're going to put a trampoline here. Why? I don't know, for the fuck of it.
Who goes to fucking shoot up and go to a welcome center first?
Who goes to shoot up and plays on a trampoline?
I would think when you're stoned, that's the first thing you want to do. Jump out of the treehouse on the trampoline.
Yeah.
But you got to get your welcome center. You got to sign in and get your name badge first.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on the highway and you have those service stations, those service areas.
Yeah.
With the a whole bunch of restaurants in it and a gift shop, and they have the welcome center.
Right.
That's
Right.
what this is.
Well, that's what I mean. So here's the map. We have we have a lot of entertainment for you here at your Overdose Club. You're going to witness a trampoline. If you're on a real bad trip and you need to be alone, please feel free to go into the treehouse. Be very careful. Oh, by the way, sign this waiver before you climb up the treehouse because you're wasted.
And may I recommend, as you come to Meth Island, please visit Jose's House of Heroin to get the high quality stuff you lack out on the streets. Thank you. Trespass notice. You are ordered to vacate the island within 48 hours. Signs posted by Florida law enforcement on an island in Port Orange. The island, according to a video posted by the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, is dotted with various handmade wooden structures, including an elaborate 4-story treehouse and other huts made out of what appears to be old lumber and tree branches. The Sheriff's Office was assisting members of the Port Orange Police Department, South Daytona Police Department, and Florida Fish and Wildlife on Friday by posting no
They had
trespass.
everybody there.
They had everybody.
This is bigger than Epstein Island.
They were posting no trespassing signs at the squatter camp. The island is located near Dunlawton Bridge in Port Orange, with social media commenters dubbing it a good old meth island. So they had influencers visit the island.
Can we please, someone out there and all this AI stuff, start making a map of the stories in Florida so we know where they are?
We need one, like the Hollywood map of stars or the Hollywood map of murders. We need the map of Florida in the news.
All these stories, I would frame it on my wall.
Oh, absolutely.
And I have a question. Has
Mhm.
anybody checked to see if there's any Yelp reviews? Because that's important to a business.
Well, if they've had social media influencers there, there has to be a Yelp review in there somewhere.
Has anyone checked in on Foursquare?
Oh, that too, yeah.
Parts of these islands have become overrun with campsites, trash, wooden structures, towers, even a trampoline. For everyone who enjoys the beauty of this area, this is one step toward bringing it back to nature, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office posted on their Facebook page. The campsite appeared vacant when law enforcement posted the no trespassing signs on Friday. The video shows squatters have attempted to decorate the island, including by painting hearts on beams of one structure, hanging old license plates on structures like paintings, installing a trampoline, and a sign directing visitors to the island's welcome center.
Is there going to be a Hilton?
Honda forever.
Yeah.
So their version of the Mona Lisa is an old North Dakota license plate, XLR 537.
And I heard that the phone number for that place is 701-484-3657. Just letting you guys know.
Okay, let's.
Mike just killing
call
somebody
next
right now.
week.
Yeah, call that number.
Mike killing somebody right now.
So is Trump planning on putting a hotel, or is the real estate market flatlined?
How awesome would that be to have Trump Towers and Meth Island?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. It's pretty impressive, honestly. The number of structures has exponentially grown over the past few years, one law enforcement official is heard saying in the video. I'm going to read more. Hold on. There we go. Commenters on Facebook debated about the trespassing signs, with some arguing the island is a great spot to visit, while others called it the island to be cleaned up. One commenter said the area feels unsafe after nightfall. There's no sanitation on the island. It's a garbage pit, one commenter wrote. The camp is one of several located near the Dunlawton Bridge, according to the Daytona Beach News Journal.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Dunlawton Bridge, apparently somewhere that may run parallel to urine stench.
It very well might. But if you think that was good, yeah, that's it.
Well, but you didn't tell me you were done.
Yes, that's it. If you think that was good, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a great way to end the show before we name it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this handsome young gentleman, of course, from Florida. God bless his soul.
I don't think you have the right one up.
This is the one with the dildo.
It is, but I have a different picture.
Well, that's the one I got.
Oh, I have a very older person.
Oh, well, this is the one I got.
Okay, regardless, doesn't matter. So I have questions. I didn't realize Target sold these items, but let's see what it says. This final story of the night comes from clickorlando.com. Headline reads, Flagler man accused of shoplifting vibrator and condoms from Target. A Flagler County man was arrested after trying to take...
I never knew they sold this shit at Target.
I mean, I knew they sold condoms in the health aisle, like all drugstores sell condoms. I didn't know they sold vibrators. I've been to Target a number of times.
Let alone pink dildos.
Pink dildos, ladies and gentlemen. Target's own pink dildos.
Yes.
They have a 4th of July sale on dildos. 25% off. Get your dildos while they're still in stock.
Use your Target points.
Use your
no rain
Target
checks.
card and get 5% off.
No rain checks.
A Flagler County man was arrested after trying to take several strange products from a Target in Palm Coast, according to the sheriff's office. Deputies said they responded to reports about the Target theft along Moody Boulevard on Monday afternoon. Upon arrival, deputies found 46-year-old David Romero trying to back out of a parking spot outside the Target.
How old was he?
46. This is the guy that I have.
Well,
I don't know who that person is.
I pull up the story, and that's the picture that comes.
Interesting. This is what I have.
He looks at this guy like a little bit older.
Just a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
The release shows deputies then tried to take Romero into custody on an arrest warrant out of Putnam County, but as they tried to place him in the patrol car, a pink vibrator fell out of his pants.
Out of his pants?
Out of his butt,
Out of his
probably.
pants. Investigators later learned that Romero had stolen the vibrator from Target. What aisle is the vibrators? What is the vibrator aisle in Target? Next time I go
What
to
a
Target,
way
I'm
to
gonna...
get busted, though.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys have been talking about cops and guys having guns without licenses. Like, I'm safe. I've made it. I don't know if you've seen Logan's Run, right? Like you've made it to the promised land. You're not going to carousel, and all of a sudden, a pink vibrator falls out of your pants, and you're done. You're cooked.
So this is what the listener should do. Everyone listening should go to Target and ask where that aisle is, please.
Yes. Well,
and
you
let
know
us know.
what? We should call. Well, we can't next week because we won't have a word in edgewise.
That's true.
But the following week, Big B, you should write this down. We should call Target and ask for the vibrator section.
But say personal massagers, because then they'll actually listen.
Right.
Is it-
And then once we get there, we'll ask if they have anything pink that's shaped like a mushroom.
Or fist sized.
Right.
Is it near the housewares aisle?
I don't know.
You know, you can see the signs up above the aisles, like, the sections like housewares, electronics, dildos, something like that.
The Pride sections, by the Pride section, maybe.
Right beside the beach balls or something, like for your summer fun needs. But
For your summer fun, it's next to the swimmies. You can go get some swimmies and a vibrator.
Why not? It's summer.
Well, those arm things could be like your portable beach glory holes, right? Like but in all reality, the guy's running for his life. He's scot-free. Nobody has a clue of what he's done until the pink vibrator falls out of his pants.
Investigators later learned that Romero had stolen the vibrator from Target along with condoms, personal lubricant, several sexual enhancement products, and a T-shirt. Because why not?
Random.
Yeah, I might as well grab that.
Romero had been caught on surveillance footage stuffing the items inside tan shapewear he found in the store, which is pants.
Right.
Then he picked up a few groceries and paid only for the food before leaving the store.
He grabbed an aubergine on the way out.
It wasn't cucumbers and other,
banana,
legumes. Yeah.
A cucumber, an eggplant, a zucchini, maybe.
Right.
How many other phallic vegetables can we name?
Look at DK.
I'm trying to understand. I've been in Target. We don't have them in Canada anymore, but frequently my wife and I will go shop. We'll go Kroger's, Target. I've wandered around Target. I've never seen sexual pleasuring toys or creams, or because they're probably a lot cheaper in Canada, and I buy them.
Romero faces 1 count of petty theft, 4 counts of larceny, and a charge of grand theft in connection to the Putnam County arrest warrant. He's held on a bond of $3,000.
Did it say anywhere if they had the vajankle? I'm just asking for a friend.
That's it.
I must return to Target very soon. Guys.
Don't Google vajankle. Don't. It'll scar you.
Vajankle.
Vajankle.
I need to eat before I Google anything.
Before we go any further, I have to throw this out randomly. You guys will not have any idea what I'm talking about, but please look it up. Especially Mike. I think Mike would get a real kick out of this. There's a British show from a long time ago called I now forget what it's called. The Mighty Boosh. Mighty Boosh is a weird, trippy kind of show. If you look at, I think it's season 2, episode 5, The Legend of Old Greg. Please look that up and watch Old Greg, and then get back to me. You can look up Old Greg on YouTube too. They have it cut down into a 10-minute section. Look it up, please. Mike, I think you will quite enjoy Old Greg.
All right, I'll do that.
So before I get to any of mine or my 3, I have a few to throw out there. I did like no rain checks. I also liked I don't remember where any of this is from. Unholy behavior.
Right.
Yeah. From the pre-show, I wrote down killing the gnats.
Yes.
This one was real close, but it dropped to number 3 once we got to Florida. Call it cuffing season. I really struggled as we were going along between my 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's a close runner-up, and I'm going to stick with my original number 1. Jose's House of Heroin. But my number 1 from way back, I don't know what story it was, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to stick with it for my nomination for show name, Get the Sins Out.
Got to get those sins out.
That's right.
Still my
Repent.
favorite. I'm going to go now to Mike. Mike, do you have any?
I have two names or two ideas, and I had one that was more of a thought. So my first one was shady employees.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is mail order sperm. So it could be MALE or AIL, whichever way.
Right.
Boy, I like the I like that. Mail.
And then I also, this was just a thought of we're the welcome center of the internet.
I like that too. All right. I'm going to say your best one there is mail order sperm to nominate against, what was mine? Get the Sins Out.
Get the sins out.
Big B, you have what, 4?
I have 8.
Wow.
Oh my God, Big B.
Damn. You would not have guessed that, DK.
It was
writer's cramp.
It was a big night. It was a fun night.
We could break this, ladies and gentlemen, into 2 podcasts.
Almost.
Yeah, it was a fun night. It's always a fun night when Mike joins us. So
not when I'm here with you. It's just a boring another.
Right, it's just another Friday night where I drink.
How about Choo Choo Stew AI though? He's pretty cool.
I love Choo Choo Stew AI.
Yeah. Okay.
So first, obviously, show names. Show notes. Way too long. This may be even way too long for a show note, so you may not have to write it down. But I liked. Somebody said, while cleaning the glory hole, I cut my finger.
Yeah, that's way too long.
but it was quite a funny line.
Yeah.
Next up, I just liked, as a show note and appropriate for this evening, the Berserker is in the house.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, the Berserker.
As we were going on, I thought it was going to be a slow night, and I don't even remember where this came from, but it was earlier in the night. I just liked lettuce and nuts.
Wow.
I have no idea what that was from.
What Choo Choo Stew's eating.
What Choo Choo Stew is eating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
Lettuce and nuts. Then, as we were talking about the sex therapist, somebody said, those little guys can swim. Now we're going to go to a couple that I was asked to write down. Coming from Jay Vegas, everyone wore corduroys.
I love that.
After that, it was the Twitter shits winner. Of course, we have milk lemonade.
If that doesn't win at the end of the year.
And something both DK and I have learned for the first time tonight.
Right.
Now my final 2. I had one leading going in, and then this popped up, but I think the one leading is still going to win. So my number 2. Portable beach glory holes.
We talked far too much about glory holes.
Every other episode, we mention a glory hole somewhere.
I want to, and you can't change it. I just want to throw something out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have not glory holed.
Glory hole. We have to add that to the list of things he has not done.
Right.
But my final one, my nominee, came from our guest, Mike Jolitz. He said it, and I think it passed over because we were all laughing. But he said, sandwich bag of semen.
Yeah.
That's my number 1.
I'll go with that. How do you spell semen?
SEMEN.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Welcome back to
Yeah.
Spelling with Cave Crew Radio.
Look, if you don't know how many times I asked him to spell things, I'll run with that. Mike, what do you think?
I could do that one, yeah. I could go with the sandwich bag of semen.
And definitely a plethora of show notes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But milk lemonade. I forgot about that. I love it. Sandwich bag of semen it is, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, thanks for joining us live. If you want to join us next week live, you're more than welcome. You won't even have a chance to speak, but
this is
if
true.
you want to hang out in studio, and trust me, if you say something, you'll be his target for 20 minutes.
Right.
Lynx just jumped in. He likes lettuce and nuts.
He would like lettuce
that
and
too.
nuts. That's because he likes to toss the salad.
Ooh, shots fired.
I like it. I like we all look more corduroys. There's so much creativity that have come out of this show. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we're kind of going a little over, which is okay. But we'll be back next week live. Raymond the Amish comic. Links, if you have never seen them, this is a do not miss show, ladies and gentlemen. It will basically have nothing to do with the three of us, but a real life Amish guy is going to tear it up for 90 minutes. And we're pretty much going to have to mute because we'll be pissing our pants.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. It's always a good time. All right, Mike, great having you on again. You're getting more comfortable. You are welcome here anytime.
Thanks, guys.
You do not have to record. Big B is sick of me after 7 years. He's made it abundantly clear. All right, kids. We'll see you. Sandwich bag of semen. Tell your friends. CaveCrewRadio.com, Facebook, Twitter, webpage, Instagram, that other place, TikTok. Mike Joel, it says 2 accounts, by the way. I don't know why. We'll find out next time.
All right.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.